All right, y'all. Welcome to the channel, C Smith TV. This is my first video. Still filling out this whole uh, video thing, vlog, whatever. But this is a quick effort I did on Torrey Pines, and I want to point out some things for newer cyclists. Uh, Never do this. It's clearly a red light, but I roll it. It's a T section. I'm going 25 miles an hour. I'm carrying a lot of speed. If I did try to come to a quick stop, I'm probably going over the handlebars and not feeling that. So definitely, if you do this climb, if you ride out here, you don't live here, it can get busy. As you can see, this is about 5:30 in the afternoon. You got some sketchy situations that I'll point out. So if you're ever riding in this area, just in general on the road, you see I'm picking up speed here, 35 miles per hour. We got a sketchy situation coming up on the right. Always want to keep your eyes on the move. I see these two cars on the right. I don't know what they're doing. Luckily, they stay put. I kind of like to stay a little bit close to the car that I'm next to, because if they see that car, then I'm kind of protected in a way. So I'll pull back a little bit. I want to get behind this car because I don't know if they see me on their blind spot, and also to avoid these cars right here that think it's dope to park in the bike lane um, and look for a spot because nobody is using the bike lane. That's why it's there, right? Anyway, so just keep an eye out for cars. You don't know what they're doing. These are more than likely tourists. Just assume they don't see you. Got a sketchy situation coming up in about a second here, where I gotta pull in the brakes. I got cars on my right, cars on my left. I'm gonna stay on the left a little bit. Um, Luckily, again, they didn't pull out, Erky jerk out. I got this PT Cruiser. Didn't even know people were driving those still, but he seems like he's trying to race me to the spot. I want to pull out to my left a little bit, just in case he does make an erratic turn or out there. I have some room for error, about 1 to 2 second room for error, where I can just go to the medium if needed. So anyway, the segment starts there at the gate. So I start putting on the power. A little tip, or how I approach PR segments. I'm going for the PR. I'm not going for the KOM. I'm not a climber, so it's not really my goal here. But I actually trained to do a bike race that I didn't end up doing, so I just came out to do a segment real quick. And the first thing I look at when I'm targeting a segment is what was the speed. So what did I do when I PR last time? What speed did I do? That's all Strava cares about. You do 0 watts on an e-bike, and if you do higher speed than somebody else, you're going to get the KOM. So speed's the first metric. Second metric I look at is watts, obviously. What watts did I do last time? And then I need to know personally, what am I capable of putting out for this time length of the segment. For this, I was trying to be around 6:30ish to beat my previous time. So I know I can put out around 360 to 370 for that amount of time frame. So if I'm putting that wattage out, but for whatever reason my speed is not at the pace that I need it to be to get the PR, then I'm basically screwed. But luckily that didn't happen. I went in actually a little too hot, had a little too much speed, and that's the tricky thing about segments that are a little longer is you got to kind of pace yourself, man. Don't go in too hot; you will burn out. Um, Kind of keep some in this tank, so to speak, and then towards the end of the effort, you can always empty the tank. So I'm just filling out the pace, my cadence, keeping an eye on the speed for sure. Not so much, again, not so much focused on power, but looking at the speed, and I was tracking pretty well. I think for the segment PR I had 14.1, so my goal was at least 14 and a half miles per hour, 15 if possible. And then another thing too, obviously with watts, it comes down to watt per kilograms, and I'm a little over race weight right now where I like to be. I'm probably about 74 kilograms right now. I like to be around 70, 3 kilograms race weight, maybe a tad less. But yeah, so I'm a little heavier than what I usually am for a punchy race or the races that I like to do. But keeping that in mind as well. Probably have to do a little extra watts to offset the extra weight, but it's not really anything to be stressing about for a fun Strava segment. So I actually run out of storage here, so I'm just messing around with this GoPro. This GoPro's 10 years old, man. I just found it in my closet. I said, why not? I'm gonna go out, do a segment, try to PR and record it and edit it up, see how it is. It actually takes a lot of time, man. So I'm hopeful that the more I do this, the more efficient I get at it. Because I think it would be dope to not only do fun stuff like this, but just go around and film, show people the area. I know San Diego's a tourist destination. There's a lot of good coffee shops. There's actually a good coffee shop right next to this segment called Bird Rock Coffee Roasters. So if you're coming in for out of town, look that spot up. Good place to park too if you're trying to get the coast access and get some good riding in along the coast, and then you can ride back to your car. There's also a good taco shop right there too, Roberto's, and then yeah, also a good pizza spot. So that's the video. I ended up getting the PR, so pasted correctly, and I went home. All right, look out for more videos. Like and subscribe, please. And tell me how you approach your segments. Give me any tips. What do you eat? Do you make sure you get sleep? Do you cut weight? What? Let me know.